Now, the Anti-Corruption Network has condemned in strong terms the budgeting system in Nigeria and has recommended publication of the appropriation bills before sending them to the legislative arms. Addressing newsmen on Thursday in Abuja, the Executive Secretary Anti-Corruption Network, Dino Melaye, disclosed that over 60% of corruption issues in Nigeria are built and legalized in the budget. According to him, the current budgeting system is marred by corrupt activities which undermine economic progress and impedes policy changes required from economic growth and development. Senator Dino Melaye will frown at the Federal Inland Revenue Service 2022 budget system that surpasses the budget of the National Assembly, the judiciary and state. Also described the 150.5 billion naira budgeted for the presidency as an avenue used by Nigerian government officials and public officers to regularly misappropriate public funds.
Just this week, the above FIRS proposed 2022 budget scaled through the House Committee on Finance without proper scrutiny. Therefore, failing Nigerians and as the custodians of the nation's common wealth. With Nigeria's annual budget laced with fake items running into billions, budget fraud would be nothing but the real foundation of all corrupt practices in Nigeria. The Anti-Corruption Network believes that more than 60% of corruption issues in Nigeria are built and legalized in the budget. FIRS budget stands at 228 billion naira, surpassing the 2022 budget of the National Assembly, which is 134 billion, and budget of the judiciary, which is 120 billion. The presidency proposed budget for 2022 stands at 150.5 billion naira. The sum of 24.8 billion was budgeted for the president. It was budgeted that the president will spend 776.6 million for local travels. This is the president we know does not embark on any local travel, but is going to spend 775.6 million naira for local travel and transport, while the sum of 1.5 billion will be spent on international travel and transport. So put together, the president is going to spend close to 2 billion on traveling local and international. The 2022 budget of the vice president stands at 1.1 billion naira. The vice president is to spend the sum of 301.9 million for local travels and transport, while the sum of 476.2 million will be spent on international travel and transport by the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Buhari's government has consistently hijacked resources meant for social programs from benefiting the people to serving the interests of few, thereby endangering economic liquidity, whereby the poor can only get poorer. The Anti-Corruption Network wishes to place it on record that and also let the whole world know the budgeting system in Nigeria is currently used by Nigerian government officials and public officers to regularly misappropriate public funds. Thus, despite the country's wealth of vast natural, notably crude oil and human resources, a huge proportion of its population lives in poverty, largely due to dual woes of government corruption and poor leadership.
And still on that report, the Executive Secretary, however, recommended that the Executive should adopt a yearly publication of the appropriation bills before sending them to the legislative arms, and elected officials who abuse power should be made to face the law irrespective of status or position.
The Anti-Corruption Network, at the risk of sounding repetitive, reiterates that the current budgeting system in Nigeria is a monumental national disgrace. It shows a level of moral bankrupt and shameless open displays of inordinate financial ambition and fraud. We therefore recommend the following going forward. In line with the anti-corruption stand of the Nigerian current administration, all abuse of powers and privileges by public and elected officials should be made to face the law, irrespective of status or position. The executive should adopt a yearly publication of the appropriation bills before sending to the legislative arm of government. The presidency should also engage a reputable consulting firm to guide and audit the appropriation bill process to ensure credibility of the budget. The Anti-Corruption Network recommends that it is high time the citizens speak out and collectively hold our elected representatives accountable, since we are all stakeholders in the Nigerian project, and as a nation, we should remember that in an unjust society, silence is a crime.